The one Celtic fans' view tonight, yes, it is Al-Ahli against Celtic in third or fourth place for the Como Cup. It's a nothing game really, it is just a pre-season game, but it is a pre-season game that will allow Brendan Rodgers to test how far some players are ready for not only the start of the new season next week, but it's his last chance to try different formations before things get really serious with regards to the Champions League campaign. And will or will we not get to the Champions League? That is the big question. Let's just get the score board open. Score first half. There we go. Real Madrid, Valencia, Steve McManaman. That's an old game. Let me just close down some of these windows so that we do not have too many going. And I will see who is all in the chat. Get people back onto the live. Probably just lost about 400 folk, but never mind. They'll all pick back up as they find the channel again. We're coming around the mountains. What are you talking about? Anyway, is that working? Let me just turn this up a bit more. That's fine. Anyway, tell me your thoughts on the game tonight in the comment section. The starting lineup squad is Sinisalo in goals. And Alistair Johnson back for his first pre-season game of 2025-26 season after being given extended holiday after playing for Canada. At the beginning of July, he was given a further 2 weeks off after international duty to go and get married and have a honeymoon. He had that little period, the only time, because next summer he has international football. So he told his missus, look, if we're going to get married, we've got this 2 week gap here. And I remember when he spoke about it. So congratulations to Alistair Johnson. He's at the back with Cameron Carter-Vickers, takes up the captaincy as Cameron Carter-Vickers is the Celtic vice captain. And that has not been taken off him just because Kieran Tierney is back in the house. He's beside his fellow American at the back, Austin Trusty, a combination that did quite well at parts of last season until Liam Scales found a bit of form and went, Trusty, ta-ta. And was in better form than Austin Trusty and left Trusty on the bench towards the end of the season. Who's the better player going into the start of this season? Is it Austin Trusty? Is it Dane Murray? Or is it Liam Scales, who will ultimately partner Cameron Carter-Vickers into the start of the new season? And will Celtic dive into the transfer market? They need to for a new defender. Because let's face it, Cameron Carter-Vickers hasn't seen out a full season since he has been at Celtic. Maybe his first year, which was 4 seasons ago. So yeah, he hasn't had a full season at Celtic for a considerable amount of time. In the middle of the park, holding it all together is Paulo Bernardo. He will be the maestro in midfield tonight with Luke McCowan and Arne Engels in a bit of a further forward position to Paulo. On the wing, you're going to have James Forrest, the absolute legend, and Marco Tilio, who it's been said is leaving Celtic for 1.3 million, but he's still here. And then up front is Johnny Kenny. Johnny Kenny's got the nod tonight because, let's face it, he's more fit, his march sharpness is better than the £9 million Adam Ida. So he gets the nod in merit. In merit tonight, it has to be said. Shin Yamada, we haven't seen him in any action for Celtic as it stands. Right now, when you're starting, if this was the first league game of the season, for me, and I said it a couple of weeks ago on forum, it looks like Johnny Kenny will get the nod the first game of the season. Can Shin Yamada come in and make it that much of a difference tonight that it makes Brendan Rodgers go, now we've got competition, now we've got a little bit? Or will Yamada be played on one of the wings? We don't know that. Will he be played as the main striker, or will he be played as a winger? We'll find that out over the next 90 minutes, that's for sure, because Shin Yamada will be brought on in the second half of the game. 10 minutes to kick off. And the substitutes is Kasper Schmeichel, who, for me, I still stand by what I said last season. The fact that he's a player that should have been dropped. The player that is in goals tonight is the player that I think is in form. Everything that you want from a goalkeeper. We Mitch is in the house. He'll be it. Baz, have a beer with me. Let's enjoy the game tonight. Come on, you boys in green. Thank you for that, mate. Tonight's choice of Schwally is a Vino Tinto. There we go. Cheers. I hope you've all got your drinking ready for the night. It's a Saturday night, do you know what I mean? So, beautiful wine, beautiful. But anyway, if you look at the bench, there's lots of players that should be in and around there. There are players who should maybe not be in and around there. But Rice will not get to see anywhere. This will be the last time that he will be near the first team bench. Ross Dohan will be the same. Unless it comes to the Champions League, where Celtic need 3 goalkeepers for Champions League football. Scales, Benji, Adam Ida, Yang, Shin Yamada, Osmond. The big question is, where does young Osmond fit into this Celtic team? He's B team material. Realistically, he's B team standard. He's not first team football standard. He's not knocking down the door. He's not first team choice striker. Brendan Rodgers said that when he came into Celtic, he was here to learn. He was here to progress into the first team in the future. But how long do you keep a young player like that in and around the first team? Does he get put out on loan? Or hell fucking mend it if we put Johnny Kenny out on loan, just to keep the young boy Osmond happy in the Celtic team. Then you've got to look at young Summers. He's in the team tonight. Where does his future lie? Does he go out on loan, or will Brendan Rodgers, will he even utilise Summers tonight? Dyson Maeda, Rio Hatate, Callum McGregor. The big question mark is Dane Murray. Dane Murray, for me, should be fighting Cameron Carter-Vickers, Trusty and Scales for a first team position. He will be in the squad for the Champions League. He's ready for that. He proved it last year. One little mistake against Aston Villa. He slips. He's angry with himself. What told me that he was going to be a good player was the way that he reacted to losing the ball and ultimately losing the goal for Celtic that night. That always lets you know how ready a player is coming into the My Drink's a Secret Baz. You just take the piss out of it. Tell us on Twitter. Yes, so back to the team. When you look at all the players that are on the bench, young Donovan, there's suggesting that he's going to go out on loan. Tony Ralston's going to be there. Welsh, there's suggestions that Welsh will get some game time just to prove that he is 100% fit. It is still expected that Stephen Welsh will leave Celtic this transfer window. He is expected to leave. It was expected before he got his injury on his shoulder to leave. It was thought that he may need some surgery. Gladly, he does not. So it's been suggested that Stephen Welsh will get some game time just to prove to prospective buyers that he's not a dud. And then you've got Kieran Tierney. Now, it's a strange one leaving him out on the bench, because I would have thought that you would get Kieran Tierney in playing beside Johnston, Carter-Vickers, Trusty. You're thinking that that's the back four that could start the season, but he's left Kieran Tierney on the bench to give Inamura that shout. So, when it comes to it, I still think that we need a defender before the end of the transfer window. We need a hold in midfield, or we need someone with height in midfield, somebody that is a bit of an animal. And we need 2 wingers, that's for definite, because with Yang and James Forrest, Dyson Maeda, Marco Tillio's on his way out. If Yang's on his way out, we're going to need more than just 2 to come in. You know, we need 2 first team start wingers. That's the situation, the reality of the situation that we are in at Celtic. We need 2 first time starters. So we'll wait and see what happens between then. Stevie Moore's got his baby sham. Do you still get that? Wine's a woman's drink apart from tonic. Honestly. Honestly, these uneducated Scottish. Go on, Baz, it's only a game of football. How many times has CCV, Alistair Johnson, Almack slipped to play the games in the cup finals? Yeah. We need a midfield player who could run up the middle of the pitch. You've got your man in the middle of the pitch tonight that can do that. For me, that is Paulo Bernardo. He can take this game by the scruff of the neck in the holding midfield role. Wait to see him tonight. Wait to see how much he changes it tonight. And I think we'll be pleasantly surprised. Buzzweiser for me. Red wine's good, white wine's push, says Gareth. Brendan's smiling, holy crap. Brendan's smiling? Well, that VIP box is wrong. There we go, Paramount. Yeah, and that's went on to adverts. Commercial in progress on Paramount Plus. Which means the game's about to start. Ads are blocked. Come on, Celtic. It's free on Celtic TV. Oh, well, let's put Celtic TV on. Celtic TV's always way behind though. Brendan has a new Gucci belt. Stop taking it out. It's a miracle. He's laughing because he knows it's a nothing game. There's no pressure on this game to try and win anything. You know, we're not going to win the cup about it. Celtic TV's now on Rogers. Just waiting on it starting up. Oh, there we go. The little baby. Look at that. The little baby with his dummy in his Celtic top. Can he beat it? God, they two look happy, don't they? They look really happy. Cameraman's at it tonight again, isn't he? Oh dear. I'll tell you. Yep, cameraman's at it tonight again. Celtic TV interview with Rog. Not on the channel I'm watching. They're just scanning round the fans. Loch Gilhead. What's that? Loch Gilhead. Emerald 2003. This cameraman's he's just not giving a hoot tonight, is he? Guys on Instagram by the looks of it. Alright, he's trying to film stuff. Brendan Rodgers laughing because he told Tillio that he was in his plans when he can find the Aussies getting punted. Oh man. Wonder if I could do. Let me just try do something sneaky, but it may hurt the channel, so. No, let's take that off there. Close timer, fuck off. No, it's not going to work. No, it's not going to work. Good chance, but it's not going to work. Celtic TV and it's free. I'm just waiting on... Celtic TV is always way behind with me, so... Nah, I'm not going to do it live. Just... you would get done for copyright. Paradise Found's in house. Welsh is the new Bane. Paid for his passport. Yeah. Let's see Celtic. Let's see if Celtic TV is showing the same as this foreign channel. No, they're showing two different things. The American channel, I'm seeing the teams come onto the pitch on Celtic TV. I'm watching some guy with a nice set of sunglasses. There's the teams coming onto the pitch. My Celtic TV's way behind. The Celtic Football Club against the Saudis. One oil nation against another. Except they got to keep their oil money and they got extremely rich, whilst Scotland gave it all to London and they built Canary Wharf. True facts. Click second row number 4. I don't know what I'm watching. I'm clicking. Yeah, I've got it on Vitbox, Michelle. Celtic TV is way behind. It's way behind for me. But I'm watching it on Vitbox. I've got it on 2 screens. So there is the Celtic players now clapping hands with the... There's Marco Tilio looking well chuffed with himself. Hey, I'm on the pitch. Phones Australia. I'm on the telly tonight. Says Marco. Wharfs. No, how do you go by all? I know the crowd is unbelievable, isn't it? It's just a huge, huge crowd. Evening chill pill. As we kick off the game, I better get it onto that. If I move this over, close down that. Oh, what's going on here? Close all. Move this over here. Close that. They're getting ready to get their pictures taken. Oh, I've just closed down the wrong screen, haven't I? Shit. Ha! Oh, see when you've got too many screens open and you close down the wrong screen completely. Nope. Don't do this to me now. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. We're about to kick off. That box, where's you soccer? Right, put this there, sort of where it is. Put that there, and then we'll put this here. Close that, move this over. Whew. And we've started, and I'm way behind already. Yeah, I'm only 4 seconds behind. And we're off. It's definitely like the 90s when we had the Viduka top. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Just bringing up Celtic TV again. Paulo Bernardo out to James. Not the balls. It's quite fast paced. See how Celtic are lining up. They are lining up with the two in the middle. Are they? No, they're... Jamesy Forrest is coming in quite a bit. They're not really pressing up against the players. Celtic can't... Oh, come on, Celtic. You should have got to that. There was a loose ball right in front of their box and Celtic players were just sleeping. Completely sleeping. 20 goals last season with limited mins. Why is he piss poor? Alistair Johnston with a cross back to the keeper. Jesus God. You're going the wrong way, Ali. I tell you, one of this is hit his shoulder. Celtic have the foul. Hits off the guy's arm. Temperature can't be that great because Brendan Rodgers sitting with a hoodie on. I think Celtic could close down quicker. Massive game for Inamura. Massive game for Inamura. Tell us how good he really is. Sinisalo playing it out for the back. Oh no, don't do that. Paulo Bernardo gives the ball away in the edge of the box. He tries to get it to Cameron Carter-Vickers, who just they're trying. They're back to what they were doing the other night. Why is Brendan Rodgers persisting on playing the same type of football? This is going to frustrate the hell out of fans when it comes to the Champions League. It's back to the Al-Ahli keeper. He thumps the ball up to the halfway line. Cameron Carter-Vickers lets it go to Ali Johnson. Alex Johnson goes all the way back to Sinisalo. They have two players pressing on our forwards. Austin Trusty has the ball. Inamura's on his own on the wing, and Trusty just looks at him and passes it back to Cameron Carter-Vickers. What was that all about? Inamura is on the wing. No one near him. Trusty looks at him, doesn't fancy it, turns around and gives it back to Cameron Carter-Vickers. We've now got a throw in on the other side with the ball finally getting passed over to Inamura, who ultimately runs into James Forrest's arm. He collides with James Forrest, and the ball goes out for a throw in to that lot in the white. Imagine James Forrest being out for 6 months because Inamura takes him out in a pre-season friendly. Well, that was a terrible ball up front. Well, a couple of old steamers there. The OAP Ultras are getting it loudy in Como. The OAP Ultras are giving it complete loudy. This is what happens when you want an elite manager training the style of play. Sounds like another horror show. Hopefully we'll pick up. Hopefully we do pick up. James Forrest is still complaining about his shoulder. Celtic in the box. It goes out for a... Is that a corner? Luke McCown kind of slips on the edge of the box. Or it's a corner to Celtic. God, Celtic TV are now showing me the OAP Ultras again. Old pensioners getting out. I want you boys in green. I'll fucking show you. Luke McCown with a corner. In swinger. Misses everyone. Back post. Oh, Johnny Kenny slips on his arse. Disappointing. Johnny Kenny, free at the back post, slips on his arse and then allows the defender. We've got another corner though, coming in from the opposite side. James Forrest just on the edge of the box. Will he go short to James Forrest? Austin Trusty and an Al-Ahli player getting a talking to. Austin Trusty trying to make a bit of a... And it's just froze. In comes the ball from Luke McCowan. They take care of it. It's on the edge of their box. They're making a break. That was a handball. Come on. All the way back to Sinisalo. Look, Arne Engels gives the ball away in midfield. They're on the attack once again. Players are well out of position. Everyone's out of position. Oh, Jesus. Oh, no. Marco Tillio's back in the box for Celtic. Gives it to Inamura, who's on the wrong side of the pitch completely. Inamura has to now go and get back over to his own side of the pitch whilst Alan Johnson gives him a talking to. Oh, you're on that side. They swapped back positions. Inamura was way out of position. Is the reason that Alistair Johnson had to come back. Celtic trying to pass out back from the back. Paulo Bernardo played into trouble, and we're back at Sinisalo. Sinisalo punts the ball up front to the smallest man on the pitch, Marco Tillio, who gives the ball to Johnny Kenny. Johnny Kenny has the ball. He's in the Celtic half, though. There's no one up front for Celtic. Back to Cameron Carter-Vickers, who goes back to Sinisalo, who goes back to Austin Trusty. Austin Trusty now finds Inamura on the wing. Can Inamura get it to a Celtic player? Yes, but he slips on his arse. And the second Celtic player slips on his arse. But it's given us a foul. They are definitely going in for the tackles. Paulo Bernardo's in the thick of it tonight. They see Paulo Bernardo as the playmaker, and they must think that he's, like, how are you not Scottish? They're giving him some good treatment, that's for sure. There he goes, he's gone. Keep an eye on the chart, lads. When we look at it now, Arne Engels is now complaining of it's a hefty game, this, like. No a friendly. It's not getting played as a friendly. It's getting played as a fast-paced game. They only want to get gubbed by two teams in Europe, that's for sure. Luke McCown under some heavy pressure there. Inamura doing a flying kick to stop the ball. Back to Inamura. Inamura up forward to nobody. Goes all the way through to the keeper. I don't know who Inamura was trying to pick out there, if it was Johnny Kenny, but it was way off the pace. It's Arne Engels that's taking a lot of pressure. Johnny Kenny trying to put pressure, as is Luke McCowan trying to put pressure on their defenders. Jeez, this could turn you to drink this one. Pre-season hockey. We had a stronger squad 2 years ago. Yeah, we did. You're not wrong on that. You're not wrong is the channel name. We did have a stronger squad 2 years ago. There's you can't say any otherwise. It is what it is. So you've got Cameron Carter-Vickers all the way back to Austin Trusty. Austin Trusty coming forward just outside the Celtic box to nobody. All the way back to Sinisalo. Sinisalo puts the ball out completely. There may be trouble ahead. Johnny Kenny trying to put pressure on the centre circle. James Forrest now trying to put pressure on their players. Inamura with a great header to Paulo Bernardo. Paulo Bernardo turns forward past. Just Luke McCown he was nowhere near it. I tell you one thing, their players are bigger than oh Jesus, he's run riot around Celtic. Oh my God. Ball in. Inamura managed to get the ball. James Forrest, does he go for a run? He passes it to Inamura. Can Inamura get past his player? Go on, Inamura. Go on, son. Come on. Inamura gets fouled. It's almost like being at the races, seeing Inamura just sprinting forward, thinking, go on, son. How many times does Bat say back in the game, says Richard? Yeah, if we start, yeah. It's just the way it is, isn't it? We play back to the keeper. Anyway, their keeper has the ball. Johnny Kenny's just on the outside of the box. Their two defenders have went out wide. Alistair Johnson's sweating like a... Oh... What was Arne Engels thinking? You can't go in with your feet like that. It doesn't matter if you win the ball or not. Right, they're on the halfway line. They're number 46, turn James Forrest on the outside. They put the ball out. It isn't a throw to Celtic though. It is a throw to them in the Celtic half. Johnny Kenny trying to put pressure on their strikers, but to no avail because he's up there himself. Luke McCown's also up forward, further forward beside Johnny Kenny, putting pressure on as two forwards, making it more a 4-4-2 formation at the current time. It's currently a 4-4-2 that Celtic are set up as. The system does allow them to formation change during the game. Inamura tries to put a stop to a ball. Oh no. Cameron Carter-Vickers stops that passage of play, but it's still just outside the Celtic box. Cameron Carter-Vickers is trying to put pressure on him, and it's a throw to them. They get the ball in quick. There's three Celtic players, and they do nothing into their midfield and whole midfield, and number 14 out to their defender. We're not closing them down. Why are we not closing them down? We went into defence mode. This is the same way as we played in Atalanta. For fuck's... I think if this is what Brendan Rodgers is hoping to do in the Champions League, it's a worry. We got lucky that night in Italy last season. We played for our lives. We defended for our lives. Sinisalo makes a great save. Cameron Carter-Vickers kicks the ball back out to Paulo Bernardo. Paulo Bernardo with the ball to Alistair Johnson. Alistair Johnson out to Marco Tillio, who kicks the ball back to nowhere. Marco Tillio kicks the ball back to the right back position where he would think that Alistair Johnson would be, but it was Alistair Johnson that kicked the ball to him. And why was he kicking it back and not turning and making a run? Oh. The best player so far, I would say, is actually Inamura. 14 minutes into the game, they have a corner, and this is our first corner of the match. They're coming in with the corner. Middle of the box, and their header goes weakly out. There's nowhere near the goal. We've tried to play it straight out for the back, slowly. Give the ball. Paulo Bernardo gets the ball. Gets it out to Marco Tillio. Marco Tillio cannot take on a man for love nor money. Gives the ball away once again. And that loses the ball at the halfway line. We seem to have lost our shape a little bit. We're chasing shadows here up front. We're chasing shadows. We went from having a really attack-minded offensive defence from attack, and we're chasing shadows. Oh no, here they come, and they fluff across in. Cameron Carter-Vickers hits the ball out to Luke McCown, who gives the ball away in the Celtic half. They come from the attack again. Diagonal ball that comes to nothing. They are just as shite as we are, thankfully. Oh my God, there's no shape. You're ahead of me, Baz. Yeah, no, that's why I switched off Celtic TV. Forest old enough to get a bus pass. We'll need to sharpen up passing a bit of loose at the moment. Yet is that I don't understand skeptics during pre-season. We've had plenty of seasons before. Stop reading into results. It's our first team. But as I'm going to phone Scotty McClue. What for? Is he still doing YouTube? Last I seen him, he was doing YouTube. Was Scotty McClue. Right, their number 79's a bit of a menace. Tell you one thing, Celtic should try and sign him. Diagonal ball that ends up at Inamura. Can Inamura do anything with this ball? Passes it back to Sinisalo, who then passes the ball and puts Cameron Carter-Vickers under pressure. Cameron Carter-Vickers out to James Forrest is now playing through the middle. No, he's not. He's back to the wing. Luke McCowan shouting on people to get mark up to players. We're not marking up at all. We need someone in the midfield that's the midfield general that's telling people what to do, and Luke McCowan seems to be having to take that position on from an attack-minded situation, shouting at players to get closer to their men because they're not. It is with the Al-Ahli goalkeeper. There hasn't been one shot on target from either team. Cameron Carter-Vickers heads the ball down to Alistair Johnson, who loses the ball. Alistair Johnson. Cameron Carter-Vickers has the ball again to Paulo Bernardo. Paulo Bernardo takes on one player, takes on another, out to Jamesy Forrest. Jamesy Forrest with the ball. Can he get it forward? Jesse Grant to Inamura. Inamura with the ball on the wing. He's got two players round him. He passes back to Jamesy Forrest. Jamesy Forrest has the ball into Paulo Bernardo. Paulo Bernardo with one player on him, turns him, takes him on, gets in there. Paulo Bernardo running the game in midfield, but then he passes it back to Cameron Carter-Vickers, who puts the ball out to Alistair Johnson. And that was Marco that was Marco Tillio. Where's Ali Johnson? Fucking just walking about the pitch, not giving a hoot. Jamesy Forrest on the wing, trying to get past. Boy's going, who's this old geezer? Jamesy Forrest takes him on, gets to the byline. Ball nearly from Jamesy Forrest. Inamura doesn't take the shot. Back to Paulo Bernardo, who passes it all the way back to Cameron Carter-Vickers. Passes the ball out to Marco Tillio, who passes it all the way back to Cameron Carter-Vickers. All the way back to Trusty in the Celtic half. Trusty looks at Inamura, passes the ball to Inamura in the Celtic half. Paulo Bernardo takes it up in the centre circle. Paulo Bernardo seems to be the player that is the most... oh, Jesus, Arne Engels taken down completely. And the Al-Ahli player walks away with the ball. Oof, that was a rugby tackle. Fuck's sake, man. You're not going to get away with that in a European context, are you? Absolutely bonkers. Brendan Rodgers reckons he's got Nakamura and Lubo up there. I hope he's got him up his sleeve. Cross comes in for Johnny Kenny and he puts it over the bar. Over the bar. You are wanting Johnny Kenny to hit the target with that. I mean, the ball came in from that free kick after Arne Engels was taken down. Celtic didn't do as quick a free kick as what we usually do. The goalkeeper now is just taking some time to get a drink. And when the ball did kick off, it was Trusty out to Jamesy Forrest. Inamura put the cross in, and it was a lame one by Johnny Kenny, you've got to say. And there's who's that that's just went down again from Celtic. Some hefty tackles going in here. Arne Engels on the brunt of that again. Back to Cameron Carter-Vickers to Trusty in the Celtic half. Trusty looking for Inamura. Inamura goes all the way back to Cameron Carter-Vickers. They went kind of defensive, the Saudis. I'll be waiting on backup from America. Wait, the Americans on the Celtic side. Damn, that's not going to work, is it? In come the missiles from the Americans. Trusty to Jamesy Forrest. Paulo Bernardo in that holding midfield. I tell you one, Paulo Bernardo's got a touch and a half. Paulo Bernardo with the ball again. Running the midfield for Celtic. Out it goes to Tillio. Can Marco Tillio take on a player? No. Simple as. No. All the excitement in the world, and then Marco Tillio gets the ball. I've got to say, Paulo Bernardo is some player. The sound's away on Celtic TV. I'm not even listening to the sound on the sound. Should they be listening to Celtic TV? Jesus. They've got the ball anyway out on the wing. They're now having an attack coming over the halfway line. Their striker is offside. Trusty's now playing him onside. Paulo Bernardo for me is the man in the middle of the park. We need to see more of Paulo Bernardo in the middle of the park. They've got their wingers just down in the position where Inamura should be. Does he take it outside? Jamesy Forrest has got back in time. Inamura's nowhere to be seen. He's in the box. Back post, overhead, goal! Jesus, God, man. We were playing so well. Cross comes in, overhead kick, goal. Slabbering cabbage, it keeps the Huns out. It keeps the Huns out. If you don't put something like that on, the chat gets full of Huns. So it's to keep the Huns out. And it's been like that for a year on this channel. Slabbering cabbage, so welcome to the channel. Caster should be holding that. Oh, it wasn't a cast, but it was an overhead kick. It was a fantastic goal. It was a cracking goal. I mean, it comes in for the byline. To be fair, Inamura should have been there in the first place to stop the player. Jamesy Forrest gets back. Jamesy Forrest, the number 7, gets past Jamesy Forrest to the back post. Overhead kick. You're not seeing that coming. You know, Sinisalo gets down for the ball. But that's quality. That's a quality. I mean, he gets his hand to it. That's quality. That's quality all day long. I mean, Celtic have been in the dominance. They have one attack, one shot at goal, and one goal. Unbelievable. Third defending. To me, that was Inamura's fault. And for the fact that Jamesy Forrest had to run down the wing to put pressure on that guy, Inamura should have been following the winger, putting pressure on him. Jamesy Forrest is there to double up. Jamesy Forrest now comes in, cross. No, it doesn't. He comes in, tries to take on the player, and the ball's taken off. Jamesy Forrest. Celtic do have the ball in the midfield, but Inamura has given a free kick away. Unmarked at the back. It wasn't really unmarked. He was in between two players. It was a fantastic overhead kick. You know, you're not expecting the overhead kick for there. Slabbering Cabbage said 4-1 to Celtic earlier. For me, Inamura was out of position. Jamesy Forrest should have been there as the extra man to double up, but he wasn't. It's back to Cameron Carter-Vickers, who goes back to Sinisalo. Sinisalo out to Alistair Johnson. Alistair Johnson turns, runs forward. Paulo Bernardo with space in the midfield. Takes one touch, take two touch, passes to Inamura, who then touches it back to Austin Trusty. Back to Inamura in the midfield, who's now looking for someone to pass to, and he passes it to Arnie Engels, who has a player right down on top of him and puts it out for a throw to Celtic. Celtic and Johnny Kenny putting pressure on their back line. a case of same old with Celtic. Johnny Kenny now putting a bit more pressure on their defender. Luke McCowan unsure where he should. I tell you one thing, Austin Trusty and their number 17 are having a real stramash. Their number 17 having a good old wee stramash. Almost. Trusty was looking well pissed off there, right? It's back with their keeper. Our pressing's terrible. We went from having a really good press and from when other teams are in playing out the back to not. Arnie Engels gives away a free kick. Referee. Carmack needed on the pitch. Probably only 3 teams will start during the season. Yeah. Forgot Tony played for them. Yeah, even Tony. We need signings as soon as possible. I think we should have had more of the first team players on. I mean, this is Inamura shouldn't has been tested in this game. Anyway, the ball's at Carmen Carter Vickers, back to Trusty back to Sinisalo to Alistair Johnson, who tries to get the ball up to the smallest man on the pitch, Marco Tilio, but he's not got a chance to head on that. Alistair Johnson feeling the heat. Luke McCowan in the middle of the park turns. Ball forward to Paulo Bernardo. Paulo Bernardo takes on one player, passes it out to Inamura. Inamura with the ball forward to Jamesy Forrest. Jamesy Forrest on the wing takes on one player, gets to the byline, cross it in. Johnny Kenny puts the ball over the net. Johnny Kenny puts the ball over the net. If that's Adam Ida, people are saying that's another fucking bad miss. But that's 2 chances. Johnny Kenny has been in the wars. He's got blood on his arm. And there's an overrated multi-million pound player sitting in the box complaining that I was sore, man. This fucking Celtic player hit me hard. Well, Johnny Kenny's got blood on his arm. Cracking ball in for Jamesy Forrest. Johnny Kenny, was he unlucky to just not get there? Is this a... I thought it was going to be a corner to Celtic. But it's not. They're playing out for the back. Keeper ball into the midfield. Austin Trusty gets the ball. Paulo Bernardo back to Austin Trusty. Austin Trusty sitting at the halfway line. Ball out to Jamesy Forrest. Where's Inamura? Why is Inamura not helping Jamesy Forrest out more? I mean, Inamura there is far too close to Paulo Bernardo in the middle of the park. Paulo Bernardo he was looking for Inamura to be further out. Ball comes in from Marco Tilio, back post to Jamesy Forrest. Jamesy Forrest tries to get it into Inamura, but they just get a hold of the ball and they pass it out from the box. We're not closing them down quick enough at all. We're not even trying here to close them down. We definitely missed the... I mean, we could say what you want about Calmac, but see if you could just give the knowledge and the game knowledge and the information that's in Calmac's head to Paulo Bernardo. And then the vocalness that's missing. Inamura seen that ball coming and let their number 7 get to the ball. Number 7's just passed it, but luckily Alistair Johnson managed to get there. Johnny. God, come on, Celtic. What am I watching it on? I'll give you the link here. When McGregor is out, we are shite. Yeah, but when McGregor is in, all you get is people saying, "Oh, McGregor is off the pace. He's fucking pish." Get Kennedy. Fuck. Don't see what's happening on the training pitch. Yeah, I think John Kennedy is Kennedy is past his sell-by date. To be honest, I think I think that personally we do need something fresh on the training pitch. And I've said it before. All good managers change their backroom staff every 2 or 3 years. Celtic have had the same backroom staff for so long now. It doesn't help motivate. The ball out past Alistair Johnston on the wing. Their number 10 has the ball, hits it out to the wing. Cross comes in. Alistair Johnston kicks the ball out. Arne Engels slips. They are on the attack once again. Johnny Kenny's even back trying to defend. Not closing down that quick. We don't seem to be picking up players at all. Cameron Carter-Vickers stops the forward play from them. Johnny Kenny gets the ball and then loses it. Seems to be the same old story here. We are, positional wise, we're way off it. I mean, Jamesy Forrest is away in midfield. Brendan Rodgers seems to have this thing of wanting to narrow the play down so that we can do quick passing, but we're not passing crisp enough. I mean, that was Inamura on the right-hand side of the pitch again. It's just... God. It seems to be another bad day at the office right now. Maybe we need a takeover. Come back Snoop Dogg. They're so much quicker. Yeah, they are paradise found. They're so much quicker. Physicality. Brendan Rodgers will talk about physicality. And physicality is something that they have in abundance. Big physical players, athletes that are fit for the modern game. We don't seem to buy players like that at Celtic. You know, athletic. I mean, if you look at this team, it's like a typical Scottish team. Maybe it comes down to the manager. But then again, maybe it comes down to the people that are picking who we buy. We're not pressurising them at all. They're easily passing the ball back to the keeper. Their two defenders are on the outside of their box. We're not putting any pressure at all on them. I know it's a pre-season friendly, but come on, if you're wanting to start, Inamura is off the pace again. I mean, why Inamura's not getting that ball? He's playing out of position far too many times, Inamura. You know, if their winger was quicker, Inamura is caught away out of position again. This is what's stopping Austin Trusty pass. Inamura's now coming back into the middle of the park. This has to be a Brendan Rodgers tactic. And Inamura's now right in at the centre circle. It gives us no width whatsoever. We're struggling to really get the ball off them in their own half. Paulo Bernardo once again seems to be the player that is ultimately going to try and take balls off them. Paulo Bernardo hits it into Inamura, who's in the centre circle. Austin Trusty then goes out wide. Inamura gives it to Jamesy Forrest. Jamesy Forrest on the wing, but he's nobody there with him. Jamesy Forrest tries to cross the ball in, but they've flooded their defence. They've got the ball out. Inamura's out of position. Austin Trusty comes over. Austin Trusty is now shouting at Inamura to get back in position quicker. Austin Trusty looks up for the fight tonight. I hope Austin Trusty has a good season, because it'll really it'll shut up a lot of Celtic fans. Lubo Bernardo, maybe. You never know. Engels out of shape too. Is he? I don't think so. Engels never been in shape. This sounds grim, by the way. It is. Is it grim when Arnie Engels is just Arnie Engels? But for me, Austin Trusty looks as if he's took a bit of Liam Scales' drink. Do you know that pint that Liam Scales had a few seasons ago when he got told he was going to Aberdeen? He's like, fuck it, I'm going to Aberdeen. Fuck it. And then he gets told, oh, you're not going to Aberdeen, you're staying. Oh. Hold this. I think Austin Trusty's done that this season. Austin Trusty's came back this pre-season and went, fuck this. Fucking handsome Irishman, take my place. Never mind fucking that cunt's Welsh. Fuck this pish. I'm going to show yous. And the fact that Austin Trusty's almost been fighting with one of their players, and Marco Tillio's too busy doing his fucking he's too busy doing his hair. He's actually walking about doing his hair. Fuck off, mate. It's a game of football. You want a modelling career? Bugger off. They're coming on the attack again. Inamura out of position, number 26 with the ball on the edge of the box. Shoots over the bar. Inamura then stands like that when Inamura's the one that was out of position. Again, too far. Too far back. Too far inside the pitch. Wasn't close enough to his man. And then Inamura's got the cheek to stand and go like that. Why was the boy allowed to cross? Inamura should have been further out to the wing. He's coming in. This has to be Brendan Rodgers that's telling him to do this. Coming into the midfield. He's not fucking Greg Taylor. Inamura back to Austin Trusty. Austin Trusty tries to kick the ball forward to Alistair Johnson on the other side of the wing. Kicks it out to Marco Tillio. Marco Tillio gets the ball. Kicks it back to Alistair Johnston. Johnson into Inamura in the midfield. Inamura loses the ball. No, he doesn't, because McCowan gets it, steals it, takes it to Trusty. Trusty kicks it back to Cameron Carter-Vickers, who kicks it back to Sinisalo. Sinisalo to Trusty. Trusty coming forward halfway in the Celtic half to Inamura, who's in the middle of the park playing like Greg fucking Taylor. Inamura back to Trusty. Back to Inamura. Inamura diagonal pass to no one. No one. Sinisalo throws the ball out to Arnie Engels. Arnie Engels takes one touch, two touch. Back to Inamura. Inamura back to Paulo Bernardo. Paulo Bernardo under pressure back to Inamura. Inamura then gets the ball to Arnie Engels, who picks the ball all the way back to the defence. And it gets to Cameron Carter-Vickers, to Paulo Bernardo. Out to Alistair Johnson. Alistair Johnson then kicks the ball to Marco Tillio, who Marco Tillio then runs back into the Celtic half and gives the ball to Paulo Bernardo. He makes a pass. Paulo Bernardo forward, but the ball's intercepted. Then the ball's back to Inamura in the Celtic midfield to Arnie. It was Luke McCowan. Luke McCowan out to Alistair Johnston. Alistair Johnston looking for help. Marco Tillio turns up at the last minute. Alistair Johnston cross. No one's there. No one is in the 6-yard box. Alistair Johnston gets a fantastic cross in, and no one's there. No one coming in at the back post, and no one in the 6-yard box. Cracking cross. Now looking at the manager, who's licking his lips and looking up to the gods, thinking, fuck me, we need decent players. Inamura is a surprise in his quality, but I do not like the position that he's taken up and playing. Back to Sinisalo, who's put pressure on Cameron Carter-Vickers. Out to Alistair Johnson. Alistair Johnson gets closed down. It's back to Cameron Carter-Vickers. We're getting plenty of ball. Inamura in the midfield running forward. Then turns back to kick it to Paulo Bernardo. Paulo Bernardo out to Trusty. Trusty out wing to James Forrest. James Forrest got two men on him. Back to Trusty. Back to Inamura, who is now in the midfield. Jamesy Forrest is in the midfield, turns out to Luke McCowan. Luke McCowan turns, goes forward. Marco Tilio. It was meant to be a cross, but it was straight at the keeper. Who then goes, alright mate, sorry about that, I was shite. Can't believe this mess teams, I know. I'm getting plenty of the ball and got my legs over my head. What? We need Trusty's balls coming up the rear. That's a comment that you're never going to hear again. Right. Johnny Kenny. Trying to put pressure. We're not closing down at all from the front. From last season, you had 3 players up front putting pressure on. This season, you've got 2 trying to put pressure on their defence. When they've got 4, they've got 2 sitting here, 2 sitting further forward, and then they've got 2 holding midfield players. And we've got 2 strikers trying to do something in the middle. And it's terrible. Sinisalo gets the ball out quick to Paulo Bernardo. Paulo Bernardo's on the ball. And he loses it. He gives it to Cameron Carter-Vickers, who's taken out the game completely. Paulo Bernardo gets the ball, tries to get it quick out, but the referee blows the whistle to slow the game down. There was 2 fouls there. Austin Trusty was in the wars again there, wasn't he? I'll tell you one thing. That guy had his arms round Arne Engels. Arne Engels did quite well there. Give some Arne Engels some love because he gets some amount of hate. I think we actually have a great Kalmark in reserve, Kyle Urey. Kyle Urey's just been sent out on loan. Back to Austin Trusty. Plenty of time on the ball to Paulo Bernardo. Paulo Bernardo to Austin Trusty. Austin Trusty to Paulo Bernardo. Back to Austin Trusty. Austin Trusty looking for Inamura, but Inamura's in the midfield, just out of position, and I'm not exactly sure what he's trying to do. Brendan Rodgers is obviously trying to get him to play the Greg Taylor method. Johnny Kenny doesn't get the ball. Cameron Carter-Vickers heads it forwards, but Johnny Kenny was offside. Can we just stop the game now and just call pre-season and quits? And then just focus on the start of the season? How was that a foul? Oh, because it was offside, wasn't it? Johnny Kenny was offside. I don't know. Do you know what? I've been on about 2 up front for a long time, but playing Johnny Kenny and Luke McCowan up front is not putting the pressure on the players that we need. Inamura with a header to no one. Jamesy Forrest seems to be doing a lot of the work that Inamura should really be helping him out with. Luke McCowan's putting in the legwork up front. Him and Johnny Kenny swapping over sides now. But it's 2 players up front and they're in no man's land. They're getting past, but I don't know what Brendan... I think Brendan's went to a 4-4-2 this game. He seems to go for I don't know if it's a 3-5-2 at times. Is he trying to go 3-5-2? With Inamura then coming back? I mean, Inamura's let his guy on the wing get the ball again. Number 24's got all the time in the world. Inamura does close him down this time, but we don't have the flair that we had. And yes, the flair's sitting on the bench. Do you know, it's not our first team. And I really wanted to see our first team tonight have a real good go at this lot, to see where we are going into the season. Because as it stands just now, people are looking at this going, fuck me, Celtic are shockingly bad compared to what they've used to be. I mean, Luke McCowan had 2 players round him there. Was it Luke McCowan? No, it was Marco. You're not expecting. Marco just fell. Come on, Marco. Oh, God. Alistair Johnson's going, fuck me, what's happened to this team? What happened to what's happened? We should be annihilating this lot. Right, we've got a free kick. Ball comes in from Luke McCowan. Inamura is right the furthest back player coming in at the back post. Trusty is further back than him now. And it comes to absolutely nothing. I know it's a pre-season game, but it's giving me the fear. It is giving me the fear, this game. When we're going to see Yamada, hopefully soon. The Huns will romp this league this year, says Liam. It's not that bad. Maybe we're giving everyone Baz. It's a 3-5-2. When Benji plays, we revert to a 4-4. It seems to be a 3-5-2 and then a 4 and then a 4-4-2 and then a 4-2-3-1. I don't know. We're changing it. 2 weeks to go till players playing. What's the point? We're playing next week. I want to see Yamada. So do I. I want to see some Scran and all. Tillio is like a reluctant porn star, too scared to tip his bobby into the action, says Gareth Roberts. Oh my God. Oh, comment of the day. Comment of the day. That has to be comment of the day. I've not even stopped the halftime thing. That is the comment of the day. Jesus. Oh my goodness. When you sell O'Reilly, Kuhn, Kyogo and not replaced anyone of quality, then what do people expect? Yeah. Okay, hands up. I've not listened to any Celtic stuff. Closed season. Just back from the Women's Euros. Why is Tillio on the squad? Scary stuff, says my ball. Yeah, listen. I think that there's a lot of people, and I'm just watching the Celtic fans on Celtic TV. Oh, Jesus God. Oh, they're now going to Celtic TV's now going to show us goals of Henrik Larsson caliber. I'm not too sure what to say about that half. DJ Singy's come in and said it's utter pish. Yeah, it was utter pish. It was hard. That was certainly one way of putting it. Maybe Brendan Rodgers is just saying, look at the funny side, right? Maybe Brendan Rodgers is saying, do you know what? We're going to give the SPFL a little bit of hope. We're going to let them think that we're utter garbage, and we're going to play a different team every 45 minutes. And then when it gets to the first game of the season, we'll bring back Henrik Larsson and Brian McClare. Brian McClare's just scored a cracker of a goal on Celtic TV. If only a Celtic player could play like that these days. 1 week before the start of the season, we ain't playing like even close to playing. No, we're playing like it's the first week in July. One morning in July, I was walking. What a joke, Baz. Paul McStay on the ball on Celtic television, out to that Mo Johnston character. You're mental. Wait till the end of the season. Wait till the end of the window. If we don't get some players in, complain then. Is Yamada on the bench? Yes, Yamada's on the bench. The team's up there. The team's there. The team there. Look, Yamada's down. Shin Yamada. There. Next to Yang. Shin. It's just called Shin. just called shin. It's just shin. To be fair, Tillio's not had a lot of the ball. Are you joking? Every time Tillio gets the ball, he either can't take on a player or he passes it back the way. You expect us to win the league and you can't tell me to calm down. Who's worried now? Raymond McStay would get into this team. Raymond McStay, I met Raymond McStay when he broke his leg. He was sitting in the front office at Celtic Park. It was it was just a bench. It wasn't an office. You went through the old doors of Celtic Park and there was a wee seat, and me and my dad were waiting on Roy Aitken to come and meet us. And Raymond had broken his leg and he was unable to play. And I think that was his career over then. He never really done anything after that. But yeah, that was the one and only time that I met the famous Raymond McStay. And then I seen his brother Paul training on the sidelines after training. Never mind down at Lennoxtown, he was doing sprints up and down the side of the park at Celtic Park. Is shin related to knee? Well, hopefully they can bring Head and Shoulders into it as well, as long as it's not that keeper. Yes, a busy couple of weeks coming up. You think so? Oh, Jesus. Cammy L's not worried. We will win the league this season. I'm just saying the board need to splash millions this window, or Brendan Rodgers will be the way at the end of the season. I think Brendan Rodgers is going anyway. I've got a funny feeling. I think this will be the last season we'll see Brendan Rodgers. Jota's not back until January. His mum has more of the ball. Glad Tillio hasn't had a lot of the ball. He's fucking clueless, says Kevin. He's some player. He is some player. That's to be said. He's an unbelievable player. Right. Do we still have this? And I'll be back in 5 minutes. Oh my goodness. We have a lizard in the house. Oh my, all fun and games. Just went into the kitchen, there's a lizard running about the kitchen. Eh? 2 seconds, I need to get this lizard. Oh man, it's all kicking off. Oh man. No, the dog will know eat it. It's a wee gecko, it's about that size. Oh, right. Come on, Celtic, get back to normal. How the hell did it get in the house? Madness, absolute madness there. I thought a snake or a maggot. No, a lizard. Yep, Lennon out. Hashtag Lennon out. Baz Colby's refusing to do the second half. Eh? You're going to kill the gecko. Jesus, this is a bit tragic. Oh my goodness. Sing the gecko. Oh man. Lizard at the front door keys. Oh, right. So, thoughts on the first half as Celtic shows some bygone eras with Nakamura. Scott Brown scoring goals. God, how would have Scott Brown back in the team just now? Mark Crosas. God, I'd even have him back in the team. Gordon the Gecko, we need him. I'd keep the keeper in back four on the last 60. Gecko are great for limbo dancing. I need to update the merch. It is what is it again? I've not had time. I've not updated it this summer. I need that'll get done this week. I think the Gecko is Tillio. I think it is. We're just waiting on adverts. Can't believe there's a wee gecko running about the house. I went to feed the dog. Oh, there's Tony Ralston, no? Tony Ralston looking smug. Has the game started? No. They're bringing on a couple of players by the looks of it. They're making 2 substitutions at half time. Oh, we've got the young keeper. The young keeper's out warming up. Gecko are good. They're good outside. You're not going to get many Moses in here. Brendan Rodgers leaves. I'll turn gay, says Stephen McNally. Any wine left? Yeah, there's still wine left. That's what I was way getting. When I found, and then I was feeding the dog. Substitutes. Doesn't look like Celtic are making any substitutes at half time. Big Welsh. Welsh needs to, Scales needs to have a shave. That half a beard scenario. So he's got, and then you've got Tony Ralston's the same. But then again, if they're shaved, they look like boy band members, wouldn't they? Well, that's Yang all happy with himself as the players start to come back out. I do love it when you come out from underneath the ground. Eh? Oh, that's cool. Come and bite you on the bum during the night.
It's okay. I'll protect you.
Oh, Jesus. Anyway, it is still only 1-0. It is only still 1-0, thankfully. Thankfully. Oh, come on. Google's not even telling you any of the scores or anything. Their manager looks suave. Cameron Carter-Vickers back out for the second half. Oh, is that Shin Yamada? Shin Yamada is about to make his Celtic debut in the second half. Shin Yamada is making his Celtic debut. Welcome to Celtic, Yamada. Yamada is making his debut the second half. Excellent. Absolutely excellent. So, we'll see what position Yamada is going to play. He's a little bit smaller. Well, he's bigger than Marco Tilio. Marco Tilio's tiny. Jesus. Marco Tilio's tiny. So it'll be interesting to see what position Yamada plays. Looks like he's came on for Johnny Kenny, so he is going to be playing as the main striker. Please, please, please be a fucking player and a half. Please be a player and a half, Celtic. I just hope that he is a fantastic player. Shin, make us grin. Oh, he needs to make us more than grin. He needs to make us smile. Smile, 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 smile. Don't you let the demons let you down. You can have it all. You can have it all. Whoa, 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 Shimon. Come, Shimon. Hey, come on, Yamada. Get in there. Oh, the referee's counting the players to see who is all on the pitch. Make sure that each team has the correct number of players. And he is about to blow his whistle. Has one look at his watch. Thumbs up to the linesman. And we're off. Second half played. Celtic starting. Let's see where Yamada takes up position. Come on, Shin Yamada. Let's do this one. He's the commentary, Archie. Right, the ball goes out to Anamura, who tries to get it into Arnie Engels, but is crap. Yamada's number 18. He is playing as the forward player, so he is playing as the main striker. So Yamada's now putting pressure. I'll tell you one thing. He's got a little bit of pace about him. Straight away, you've got to say, he's playing in the position that Kyogo Furuhashi would take up at Celtic. Is the first thing that I'm going to say about him. Celtic go at the ball with Cameron Carter-Vickers, back to Trusty. Trusty out to Inamura, who's a little bit more out on the wing, who loses the ball. Alistair Johnson saves that, and then it's back to Cameron Carter-Vickers, back to Trusty. Inamura's closer to the touchline this second half. I think Brendan Rodgers has finally had a word with him and said, look mate, you need to be out on that byline. I think Austin Trusty's, too many times Austin Trusty in that first half was like, where the fuck is he? And he's right there. And he's like, fuck off mate, get away out to the byline. And there's no use being in there. Marco Tillio's still on the pitch, believe it or not. Celtic have the ball all the way back to the goalkeeper, Sinisalo, who's still on the pitch, to Cameron Carter-Vickers. Alistair Johnson's telling Inamura to get out a bit, and Inamura comes in. Unbelievably. They're on the break. Oh! Try to claim for a penalty, but the guy goes over his own foot. People say that Arne Engel should maybe have had the ball there in the midfield. Kind of slid in to a tackle. Luke McCown needs to shave that moustache off. It's 2025. The ball goes out for a by kick. Sinisalo demanding the ball quicker from their players, their ground staff. Trusty with the ball out to Inamura, who's further out on the wing, thankfully. Back, Inamura gives the ball back to Sinisalo, puts him right under pressure. Sinisalo kicks the ball out. Luckily, Marco Tillio now has the ball. Marco Tillio forward, makes a forward pass to nobody. Alistair Johnson with a long throw to Shin Yamada. Shin Yamada's got the ball on the wing. I tell you one thing, he's on his own. Go yourself, Shin Yamada. He gets a free kick. Wow. Go yourself. Have we a new star in the making? Is Shin Yamada the real deal? With the fleeting of glimpses that we've had of him in the first, 4 minutes of this first half, he looks like a player. We may have unearthed the replacement for Kyogo Furiashi. Luke McCown is on the wing, getting ready to float in this free kick. Yamada's kicking about like an unmanned assassin. In from Luke McCowan, and their defender heads it over for a corner. Shin is the next Kyogo. It could be. Did Shin feign injury? No, he didn't. Shin didn't feign injury. Corner comes in from Celtic. Back post. Jamesy Forrest. Goal! Austin Trusty scores for Celtic to level the scorelines. Absolutely unbelievable. Austin Trusty scores a goal for Celtic to make it 1-1. Corner comes in. Jamesy Forrest, back post. Austin Trusty, middle of the park, slips it into the back of the net. Fucking what a goal! Get in there, big man. Get in there. Austin Trusty. Absolutely fantastic. Up the Rebs. Austin Powers. Absolutely brilliant. The man that you would never expect to be there in the middle of the box. I tried drinking red wine with my dinner. but the hotel stuff is bleh. You need to get. Telling you, we're winning 4-1. Delighted for the big man. I'm delighted for him as well. Absolutely over the moon that Austin Trusty scored that goal. Playing out for the back. Long ball out. Doesn't come to anything though. I'm just trying to be a quick ball out to Marco Tillio. They're taking the kick out from the back. One of their defenders is kicking the ball out to the keeper. The keeper then kicks it to a midfield player. We're not putting enough pressure on him though. Paulo Bernardo does try to put pressure on him, but the big man gets in front of him. Paulo Bernardo gives a wee tug at his arm and the player goes down. Awfully easily, considering he's about 3.5 foot taller than Paulo Bernardo. And Trusty with Trust. I did say the first half, I tell you one thing, Trusty was playing like a player that's got a vengeance. You know, it's vengeance. He's playing like Captain America. And the Saudis are raging because they've just seen an incoming missile from the USA guy, Trusty. Friendly fire. Not so friendly because it is a pre-season friendly. Hublot advertising. Anyway, the ball's back to Trusty, back to Cameron Carter-Vickers. Back to Paulo Bernardo in the middle of the park. Trusty tries to spray it out wide, but Inamura coming inside again. Tell you one thing, we have a game on our hands now because they are big physical players. And I tell you one thing, we know we're in a game with this lot. It's all to play for. So the only players that came on was Shin Yamada for Johnny Kenny. And I tell you one thing, Shin Yamada, he has the number 18 for Celtic. He is playing, he's holding the position a little bit like what Kyogo Furuhashi did for Celtic when he was at Celtic. Is he the direct replacement? Could we have struck gold for another occasion with a man from Asia? That was a hefty ball back to Sinisalo. Sinisalo back to Trusty. Trusty trying to now kick the ball out. Fair play to Trusty. Inamura's out of position again though. I'm telling you, Trusty is the man on fire. Trusty is the man on fire going into the new season. Liam, if Trusty keeps up this form, Liam Scales will struggle to get into the team. Trusty's like a man on a mission. I think he's had a big wake-up call during the summer. As they're on the attack and the ball goes out, Alistair Johnson just lets the ball roll out and he's like, easy tiger, easy tiger. Can Celtic win this pre-season friendly, the final pre-season of the 25-26 season? Alistair Johnson putting in a shift as Alistair Johnston does. He is a fantastic player, Johnson, isn't he? He's just... Yamada's at the... He's in a good bit of space, Yamada. If you can get the ball out quick to him, let's see what kind of pace he does have. I want to see how quick this guy is, because if he's the real deal and he's quicker... If he's quicker than Daisen Maeda and quicker than Kyogo Furuhashi. The positions that he's taken up so far and the little bit of touches we've seen of him, looks a decent player. It doesn't look as if he's going to be easily knocked about like maybe what Kyogo was with that shoulder. Austin Trusty all arms with the attacker. Trying to keep the ball now, Celtic. It's a bit scrappy right now. James Forrest takes the ball. The player just knocks him over. I mean, it's a foul all day long. Just need to get the ball down on the pitch. They're a bit rattled. Hence, I mean, he's pulling it. There's two players. I mean, one pulls at his jumper. They know that James Forrest is an excellent player when you've got two players attacking James Forrest like that. You get Paulo Bernardo on the ball this half because he's on the ball now, turns. He is the guy that does the pass forwards. Cameron Carter-Vickers tries to get Shin Yamada and gives the ball away. They're on the attack. It's back to Sinisalo. Cameron Carter-Vickers out to Alistair Johnson, who tries to get the ball out to Luke McCown. Luke McCown. That's what you want for Alistair Johnson. I mean, the ball went out, and their player goes out to get the ball and tries to take a quick throw in. Alistair Johnson runs right off the pitch and right up to the player to stop him taking the early throw in. That's brilliant. That's what you want from a player. You want the player to be able to slow their game down. You know, stop the intensity of the game. Brilliant, brilliant play for Alistair Johnson. Good old fashioned. Oh, go on, Shin Yamada. Yes! Offside. Fuck sake. Shin Yamada was offside. Just. He was about 2 foot offside. Just offside. Tell you one thing. It's looking good though. Couple of more players. Cameron Carter-Vickers with the ball. Paulo to Luke McCown. Luke McCown to Trusty. Trusty out to the wing to James A. Forrest looking for Inamura. Inamura back to the defenders. Again, Austin Trusty pointing to Inamura, telling him to get out to the wing. He wants him on the byline. He wants him right on the touchline. You know, he's coming in too far. Austin Trusty's telling him, pointing to the line, get out there. I want you out there so you can pass the ball there to you. And then he's in the middle of the parks now. Paulo Bernardo not on the ball as much this half as he was the first half. Austin Trusty with a fantastic block and tackle, and he gets the free kick. Get in there, Trusty. Get in there. Trusty is playing like a man on a mission. A man on the mission. Completely like a man on the mission. Austin Trusty will make you completely forget about Liam Scales this season. That's my prediction for the season. And Paulo Bernardo will give Callum McGregor a run for his money as... Oh my God. Jesus. Stephen Welsh is coming on. Stephen Welsh. Oh, for fuck's sake. Cameron Carter-Vickers is coming off. And Stephen Welsh is coming on. They're making wholesale changes. They're making changes of keeper and everything. My God, they're making about their whole team. They're changing their keeper. They're changing everybody. And we brought in Stephen Welsh. Just catching up with the chat. Just going to check on something before it should have been done, but I'll just catch up with this before. It's amazing when you wait 20 minutes to you subscribe to a channel for 20 minutes just to have a comment deleted and then kicked off the channel. Safeco fans love the channel. And he waited 20 minutes. And that's what I love about it, is the wait 20 minutes, sit there for 20 minutes. I'm fucking gonna into a fucking tight fucking, I'm gonna fucking fiend you bastard. And then they get blocked straight away. That's half an hour you're never getting back, is it? You're fucking fiending bastard, fucking fiending cunt. 20 minutes later. Anyway, let's get back to the game. It is all about Celtic, who are winning against one of the richest teams in the world. No, we're drawn. 1-1. James Forrest, the pensioner, picks up the ball. Out to Inamura. Back to James Forrest. James Forrest to... James Forrest is captain now, just to say. Young Donovan's on also. Big game for him because he's going to get loaned out to Scott Brown's team, I think. Marco Tilio on the ball. Takes on a player and it goes out for a throw to them. Can we just bring Yang on now or Dyson Maida? And take Marco off. And there is Stephen Welsh just putting the ball out. Big game for Stephen Welsh because he is obviously looking to move on this summer. So this game is all about showing prospective buyers of Stephen Welsh. Shin Yamada just gets a wee kick in the back of the leg and goes down, gives Celtic a free kick. Ball out quick to James Forrest. James Forrest out, it comes in midfield, takes on one player as James Forrest does. Paolo Bernardo on the ball in the midfield, puts it out wide to Marco Tilio. Tilio out to Donovan. Back to Stephen Welsh. It's good to see Donovan on the park because I think he is going to get loaned out to, and I'm sure it is Scott Brown's team he's going to, isn't it? But this will be Brendan Rodgers, just seeing how good he is. Paolo Bernardo on the ball again. Great ball through to Shin Yamada. Shin Yamada out wing to Jamesy Forrest. Great ball that. Jamesy Forrest takes on one player. Jamesy Forrest, ball in. Luke McCowan gets the ball inside the box. There's no one there on the wing though. Marco Tilio's away out of position. Ball comes back in. Arnie Engels hits the ball over the crossbar. Luke McCowan, Arnie Engels should have hit the target. Luke McCowan with a great ball in there, it's got to be said. Got to be said. Donovan's going to Livingston. There you go, he's going to Livingston. I knew he was going to one of them. Tell you one thing. Inamura. That wasn't a bad tackle for Inamura. Out to Jamesy Forrest. Jamesy Forrest has got the Captain Armband on. And I'll tell you one thing. He's playing like Captain Marvel. He just doesn't know when to stop Jamesy Forrest. 182. Oh, there's the Celtic fans doing the huddle. The ultimate embarrassment. Oh, Jamesy Forrest with the ball in the box. Oh, cut back. But he doesn't get to anyone. They're now on the break. McCowan in midfield running the show. Marco Tillio gives it to Luke McCowan. Paolo Bernardo putting in a shift. Definitely a player. Paolo Bernardo, the first half, I mean, he was running that show in midfield. The TV guy, the channel I'm watching, they're just not giving a fuck. Sinisalo, gotta say, he's not put a foot wrong, Sinisalo. Definitely giving Brendan Rodgers some food for thought. Talking about food. Right, they've got a free kick. So there's going to be a diagonal one into the box. And it goes to the foot. Oh, Sinisalo makes a save. Cracking save by Sinisalo. A well-worked free kick. Off the training pitch, free kick. But Sinisalo was well up to it. Now playing it out for the back for Trusty. To Paolo Bernardo. Out to Inamura. Inamura with Jamesy Forrest just next to him. Back to Arnie Engels in the midfield to Paolo Bernardo. Paolo Bernardo with two players round him, closing him down. Stephen Welsh gives the ball away. There's three of them attacking against one Celtic player, and Jesus, God, we managed to get back and save the day, but they're still coming. No penalty, no penalty. Their player goes down looking for a penalty. Referee goes straight away. Yamada with the ball. Yamada up himself. Yamada keeps the ball, passes it back. Cross ball to Jamesy Forrest, Marco Tillio, but doesn't get there. Austin Trusty with the ball, but then it's taken off him. I tell you one thing, they were in a game now. They're attacking down the left hand side with Inamura. The cross ball right to the back post. Donovan saves the ball going any further. Celtic are closing down in numbers now. Defensively quite astute here at this moment in time. But they have just got inside the box. Cross in to the Celtic player. Donovan has the ball for Celtic. Stands. Paolo Bernardo back to Donovan. Donovan stands, looks, has a player in front of him. Shouting for Marco Tillio. Marco Tillio manages to head the ball off himself. Jamesy Forrest now in the middle of the park. Over by Marco Tillio. Into Paolo Bernardo. Paolo Bernardo out to Austin Trusty, Captain Marvel America. Out to Inamura, getting some space. Inamura just walks over the ball, forgets to take it with him. Can't make it up sometimes. Paolo Bernardo in the wars again. The big 6'4" player having a go at Paolo Bernardo, and then you've got their number 14 just kicking the ball away. That should be a foul. I think there's going to be a change, is there? Or is the ref just having a breather at this point? Is he just having a breather? I'll tell you one thing. Thank you to everyone that's watching along right now. It's fantastic numbers tonight. Oh, we just made a change. Celtic have just making a change. Few more changes from Celtic. Osmond is on, as is Summers. Let's see what Summers and Osmond can do. big for Osmond. We're now playing two strikers up front. Shin Yamada making a menace of himself. Where is Osmond playing? Because Luke McCowan was playing up front beside Shin Yamada. Are Celtic going to a good old-fashioned 4-4-2? As Jamesy Forrest is now up front. Are they putting James Forrest up front and Osmond behind him? Is Brendan Rodgers saying, no, just keep James up front, keep his legs as they're on the attack? Ball coming in, Sinasalo well up to it, and it's a goal kick. Celtic are playing okay, I've got to say. There's young Summers, just put the ball out to Inamura, kicks the ball out to Osmond on the wing. Osmond coming down on the wing, Shin Yamada through the middle. Takes a wild shot from way out. No idea what he was thinking there. Will be good to see what Osmond. Is he playing Osmond as a winger? Because he's playing James Forrest up front beside Shin Yamada. And Summers has now moved into that sort of holding the attacking midfield role where Arnie Engels was in the first half. He's up there beside Luke McCowan. So this is interesting. Summers is one of the players that you're thinking, it's about time you made the move into the first team, pal. Engels has went into the holding midfield role. Was he? Is that Engels? Osmond on the wing. Doesn't look out of place, Summers. Doesn't look out of place at all. Definitely a player that's progressing well for Celtic. Yamada on the outside of the box. Celtic TV is a piss take. Osmond coming down the wing bars. He's playing on the wing and he's coming inside. I'm surprised that Inamura's lasted so long. I am really surprised at that one. I'll tell you one thing, that save for Sinasalo was a good one. 74 minutes into the game, it's 1-1. James Forrest is captain, playing in a central role for Celtic. Stephen Welsh in defence with Donovan, Austin Trusty and Inamura. Ball all the way back to the keeper Sinasalo. Sinasalo been more than comfortable this game. You cannot fault the young goalkeeper. Given Brendan Rodgers a lot of thought going into the season. Do you start with Sinasalo or do you start with the experienced but ageing as Celtic get the ball out to Osmond, who is on the wing? Can Osmond take on a player? Yes, he can. Takes one player on. Second player on, but nobody's there in the middle of the park for Celtic. Oofed. Austin Trusty still on the park. Stephen Welsh with him. Welsh on the ball. Welsh out to Jamesy Forrest, who's now on the wing. Jamesy Forrest just seems to be fleeting all over the park now. Austin Trusty back to Stephen Welsh back to Austin Trusty. Trusty out to Osmond. Osmond takes on a player, then gets taken down. Interesting. We all thought that Osmond was coming into Celtic as a striker. But are Celtic going to make him a winger? As part of a front three? The ref's setting name beaten. Schmeichel's number one. Unbelievable in Europe last season. Yeah, he was, Mark, but he kind of ran out of steam, doesn't he? And I think that he's a player that, you know, everyone has their time, and there's always going to be a young player coming along that's going to be better than you, that's going to say, "Oh, old man, go and hold my drink a minute, because you're getting on a bit, eh?" And he plays better. Where's Osmond from? England. From England. Jamesy Forrest completely taken out. Bad one on his ankle. Let's hope he's okay. Because you're not wanting Jamesy Forrest out just for him to come back at Easter on a Sunday. Jamesy Forrest on the ball, takes on a player, takes on two players, and the ball goes out for a corner. Get in, Jamesy Forrest. That's what you're talking about. 180-year-old and still doing it for Celtic. Showing all these youngsters, this is how you play football, son. Celtic with the corner. Jamesy Forrest just on the edge of the box. Ben Summers just behind him. Quick ball out to Ben Summers. Oh, that's off the training pitch, that one. It just didn't work out the way that they were kind of hoping. But that was definitely one off the training pitch. James Forrest steps over the ball as it goes through. I tell you, Ben Summers is getting stuck right in. Ben Summers did try to make the cross in, but it just didn't come off. Brendan won't drop Casper as number one this season, defo. I don't know, I'm not too sure. I think that Brendan Rodgers will look at Sinisalo and think, do you know what, he's given Casper a run for his money, and you've got to go on for him. Do you know what I said towards the end of the last season? Sinisalo was the player in form. As it stands right now, Sinisalo's carried that form onto the new season. It's where Casper's kind of left off where he finished off last season. They're on the attack now. Donovan trying to stop the passage of play. Jamesy Forrest getting back. He's back on the wing again. Luke McCown. Shin Yamada putting pressure on. He's not had a lot of the ball, Shin. They are trying to go for a winner as Celtic, and their players are freaking out because he's just been booked, quite rightly so. It's a goal kick to Celtic. Might be able to buy refs in your country, but you're not buying them in Italy for the moment. Sinisalo has the ball out to Stephen Welsh. Stephen Welsh out to Donovan. Donovan comes inside, takes on one player, kicks the ball forward. Just doesn't see the right pass. Was a little bit inexperienced there. Luke McCown, they have a shot from way out. It was a rugby goal, that. 10 minutes to go, and they are shooting at will. They are trying to get the winner. Celtic playing comfortably, holding their own against the multi-millionaires of the Saudi Arabian team. Saudis have made a lot of changes. Inamura still on the pitch, managing to take on a player. Shin Yamada loses the ball. It's a meaty game. Ball goes out wide. Donovan, the only player, and Donovan putting pressure on their player again. I say Donovan's not a bad player as well. There's a lot of positives to take from this game. You know, when you're looking at the lineups to start with, I mean, Johnny Kenny's not the finished article. We've not really been getting crosses in that Brendan Rodgers may hoped. The whole formation change has made a big difference to the way that Celtic are playing this game compared to the last season. The fact that every time that you were going forward, you would have the three up front. We seem to have one up front, then maybe two up front. And you're not getting the wingers. We don't have the pace or the wingers to get down the wing and get the balls in. You know, to have the striker in the 6-yard box. There was a cross put in by Luke McCowan earlier on in the game, and there was nobody there. No, it was Alistair Johnson. Alistair Johnson put in a fantastic ball, and there was nobody in the 6-yard box. James Forrest getting a full 90 minutes in this game. Captaining Celtic, the most decorated Celtic player ever. He's got more medals than Rangers fans could ever dream of. And they are under pressure. Ben Summers putting them under a bit of pressure. They are struggling to get out of their own half. They're making an attack now. Just getting over the halfway line. Putting the ball out wide. Donovan on the edge of the box. Plays well. Ball does get in. No, God, it goes past. Thank God. Jesus. They almost carved us open out of nothing. Quality players can do that. I mean, Sinisalo makes a fantastic save. Sinisalo makes a brilliant save. One-handed save. Trusty kicks the ball and then it comes back off Trusty to go out for a corner. Trusty throwing himself at stuff here. Trusty's given the manager big decision to make. The corner comes in and they header it over. Sinisalo rushes to get the ball back and get the ball out quick and back into play, whilst they're now showing a bunch of folk doing Instagram in the stands. Let me take a selfie. Celtic with Shin Yamada. Shin Yamada loses the ball under a bit of pressure. Interesting that we haven't seen Kieran Tierney. He's given Shin Yamada the 90 minutes of this game. Ball in and it goes out for a corner. Ripped open apart again by them. They are starting to up the pace and show their quality. Top international, multi-million pound players here. I mean, the squad's bound to be worth a frightening amount, but Celtic are definitely holding their own. But they are trying to get a winner late on. There was offside. Oh no, he's not offside. The ref didn't put the linesman didn't put the flag up. No wonder, Jesus. Celtic have got the ball back. Andy Engels. That's Luke McCowan. Luke McCowan complaining that he didn't get the free kick there. God, that geezer looked like me when I was about 20. With the old curtains. Not long tuned in, Megan. Not sure. To Diva. Tell you, fantastic numbers watching this just now. Just noticed we should be closing crosses. There's a lot of positives you could take from the game, but there's a lot of negatives at all. We still are in the need of fantastic wingers. Jamesy Forrest puts the ball over the back of the net. That's a corner. Deflected over the net. Shin Yamada went down the wing with that one. Gets the ball into McCowan. McCowan, it comes back to Jamesy Forrest, and Jamesy Forrest, the ball goes deflected over for a corner. Their players are now pulling up with cramp. 85 minutes. That geezer does look like me when I was about 20. Jesus. That's a bit freaky. So they have a corner. Can Celtic do anything with this corner? Luke McCowan, Jamesy Forrest, just on the edge of the box like he was the last time. Guy got his arms all around Trusty. Ball comes in. Oh, Shin Yamada at the back post. Shin Yamada! Yamada! No. Doesn't do anything. Celtic still have the ball. Luke McCowan has the ball. Shoots! Oh, comes off the post! Oh my God! Luke McCowan gets the ball on the edge of the box, crosses it, shoots, and it comes off the post. Oh my days. Oh my days. Jesus. Unbelievable. Jamie Brown, you know it. Now I just shave what's left off, because there's no use. There's no use keeping what's there, so you just shave it. Luke McCowan, that was a fantastic. Off the post, you've got to say, if that goes in. Brendan Rodgers thought it was in. I thought it was in. Cracking shot for Luke McCowan. Austin Trusty headers the ball way back into their half. James Forrest putting pressure on their winger. Luke McCowan still pressurising up front, showing why he is in this Celtic team. The £1 million man from Dundee, loving the fact that he's a Celtic fan and playing at this level for Celtic, giving his all tonight against the Saudis, who have got a big athletic team, big athletic players. With the scoreline still 1-1. And we've got Stephen Welsh on the park. Hey, McCowan, come on there. Get in there. And Donovan. That's what you want to see for a young guy. Go on yourself. Fucking get in there, Donovan. Get in there. That's what I want to see for the younger players coming through. You touch one of my mates and I'm going to go through you. Get in. Sign him up for life. Do not loan him out. McCowan is one of our best midfielders. Underrated, yep. Showing your age there, Eddie. By Sligo Rovers. Win the treble. I've more hair in my rusty ring than my head. Nah, I've got the old crown, the old horseshoe thing that would go on, and a wee and stuff in the middle. So you just shave it off. Just get the Bic razor and the old Gillette shaving foam gel, Gillette shaving gel. Right, there's Donovan with a throw in. What a player, Donovan, and right up for the fight. No scared at all. You know what I mean? Backing his fellow Scotsman. Donovan with a long throw. He's got a long throw on him. Luke McCowan kicks again. They're totally kicking at McCowan now. They see him as a danger man. Sinisalo on the ball. God, we're running late, aren't we? 87 minutes, better just get the review game. The reaction video is now live. We'll get us on a full-time reaction. Back on there. Full-time reaction after this game. Celtic TV has frozen, but the game is still going on the channel. I've got on 2 channels, so it's all good. That's it. Game over. No, that's it. It's done. He's blown the whistle. The game is over. It's 1-1. The game has finished. And it's 1-1 Celtic. Full time. That's it. What a game. Phone home. Sell Barrafield, sell 3 players. It's penalties. It's penalties. Is it penalties? Do we go to penalties? God, surely no. There's no finishing the draw. It's extra time or penalties. Richard says, love your passion for Celtic. Hopefully rubs off on some of the negative fans. Hopefully it does, Richard. Penalties. For fuck's sake, penalties. Fucking hell. Blowed the whistle. He blowed the whistle. That's fucking... Just can't be. Penalties. Popcorn time then. It's for third place. Penalties. Surely no penalties. You know, just it is penalties, isn't it? Oh, for fuck's sake, here we go. We're not that good at penalties. Just saying. Thank God I wasn't watching it on Celtic TV, because it's still doing that thing where it's just Osman's taking a penalty, right? Brendan Rodgers is getting the penalty takers. Adam Eder's not even on the pitch. Who will take the penalties for Celtic? I can't watch it. I can't watch it. Oh, give me strength. Who's putting their hands up? Luke McCowan for one. Oh, come on, Celtic. Come on. Oh, Wee Mitch. Thanks, Bash, for the pre-season watch along. Big thanks for the chat. Thank you, Wee Mitch. You're an absolute star. Absolute star. Penalties. Oh, God, penalties, man. I can't do penalties. I know there's penalties. I know what you're saying there's penalties. I'm watching the screen. Celtic TV's still on 89 minutes. This one's on penalties. Do you know what I mean? It's like Celtic TV's way behind. Shin Yamada's just doing a throw-in on Celtic TV. On this screen, there's... God. They're doing the penalty takers. Right? My Celtic TV's still going. It's just on 90 minutes now. He's just blowing the whistle. Straight on the 90-minute mark. Fuck it, no extra time. It's fucking gone to penalties. Fuck yous. Oh, no. Can't do it. Ref's been terrible. 0-0 each on penalties due to the lack of interest. James's legs must be done. 90 minutes, what a legend. I know, for what? When you think about how many pre-seasons James Forrest has done at Celtic, and when you think about how many players and how many fantastic players that James Forrest has played alongside, and how many players that have tried to keep James Forrest out the team over the years, but here he is, aged 188 years old, still captaining Celtic and still being such an influential player. It shows you that the living legend that we have, and any team around the world would love to have James Forrest for the last 17 years. Because I tell you one thing, as Celtic fans, we have definitely enjoyed Celtic TV is a disgrace pass. Yep, it's way behind. The delay on it is unbelievable. I said 1-1 in penalties last game, said Michelle. Oh, God. Jamesy Forrest, captain, leader, living legend. Leads his merry bunch of men into battle in the 6-yard box for Celtic. Looks like Celtic will be taking the first penalty. Stephen Welsh asking who the fuck... Oh, Arne Engels takes the first penalty for Celtic. Arne Engels stepping up. Arne Engels places the ball down. Come on, Arne. Come on, son. Arne Engels places the ball down, takes 5 steps back, looks at the ball, deep breath, runs up, scores! 1-0 Celtic. Get in there. Arne Engels scores again. Arne Engels scores again. Arne Engels scores again. Congratulations on Welsh not getting stretchered off. Right. Can Sinisalo do the unthinkable and save a penalty? Come on, Sinisalo. Come on, son. Sinisalo, 2 hands up in the air. Put your hands up in the air. Put your hands up in the air. Sinisalo dancing about the line. Oh, and it goes up to the top corner. Wrong way. Sends Sinisalo the wrong way and it goes up into the top corner. To be fair, it was right into the corner of the net. It was a good penalty. It was a good penalty. This one will come down to Jesus. Oh, Summers. Young Summers is coming to take a penalty for Celtic. Young Summers runs up. Yes! Young Summers scores for Celtic. Get in there. The way Ginger does it. We need more Gingers in the team. Fantastic penalty. Brilliant. I'm so pleased for the young lad. Total respect for Summers. That was unbelievable. The pressure on the young lad taking that penalty. You know, the pressure on him taking that penalty. You're thinking, you know, I know it's just a pre-season friendly, but right, Sinisalo's grabbing the net. Come on, Sinisalo, make a save. Come on, son. Oh, gets wrong-footed again. Sinisalo dived the same way again that he dived the last time. Must have been thinking that they were going to mix it up. But he dives the wrong way completely. It's 2-2 on penalties. I think Welsh is taking one, yep. Luke McCown scores his penalty. 3-2 to Celtic. Luke McCown does what Luke McCown does with penalties. Celtic. Will Sinisalo go the opposite direction this time? Will they go for the different corner? And will Sinisalo make the save? Sinisalo jumping about. Think he's Arthur Borage. Save for Sinisalo! Yes! Yes! Sinisalo saves the penalty. Get in. Unbelievable. Get in. Absolutely. Yep. There's 2 people waiting on the other live. Yeah, there's 2 people waiting on the other live. And there's 1,500 on this one. Oh man, unbelievable. Fantastic. Stephen Welsh scores. Stephen Welsh scores for Celtic to make it 4-2. Stephen Welsh scores for Celtic to make it 4-2. I'm that much in shock that Stephen Welsh hasn't been stretchered off. And he's scored a penalty. 4-2 to Celtic. They missed this one, and Celtic have got 3rd position in the Como Cup. Right. Can Sinisalo do it again? Come on. Is Sinisalo the new Arthur Borage for Celtic? Jumping about like Arthur Borage used to do. Oh, goes right down the middle. Just puts them the wrong way. Got to say their manager's looking tense because it's down to Celtic. Celtic score this one and they have won. Celtic score the next goal and they've won on penalties. Shin Yamada on the ball. Oh my days. Shin Yamada places the ball down for Celtic, takes 7 steps, don't freeze, 7 steps back, so he's right on the edge of the box. What a run up. This is going to be pure power. Come on, Shin. Come on, son. Oh, he stops. What's he doing? He scores. That was the weirdest friggin' penalty ever. You think he was going to miss. He stops, he then runs, and he puts the ball in the back of the net, and Celtic have won on penalties. I don't know if I'm excited or I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? Because you thought he was going to miss. That was the most bizarre penalty I've ever seen taken. But Celtic have just won on penalties. Absolutely fantastic. Ha! To all the Rangers fans that are now looking for Celtic to have lost a game, we haven't. Celtic win against a Saudi team on penalties. Absolutely brilliant. Shin. Oh man, Shin Yamada. Viva la Cuenta Yamada was the song. Oh my good. No passing it to the right. Arnie Engels is the man on the wing. Celtic girl winning tonight. Oh my god. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. So Celtic have won on penalties. And it's got to be said, that was some game. Does it even have penalties in this? Doesn't even have penalties. Can't even put the penalty score line up. Anyway, what an unbelievable game. There's 4 folk. I think Welsh is taking one. Yeah, there's 4 folk waiting on this live to go ahead. Jump over to this. There's like 1,500 folk on this. It's unbelievable. Thank you to everyone who has watched the live watch along tonight. Kicking camels all over Italy. What are you watching the game on? It's up to date. I was watching it online and on VipBox. I had it on Mitch, thank you for your super chat tonight. I had it on Celtic TV as well, but Celtic TV is way behind. I am going to jump over to the other video to do a reaction to a game that completely surprised us. Anyway, on that note, thank you to the over 17,500 people that have watched the live tonight. 1,500. That has to be a record currently watching. But please jump over to this live where we could talk about the game, talk about the fact that Celtic have now finished their pre-season and it's time to get down to business. On that note, have a fantastic evening, Celtic fans, wherever you are, all around the world.